decision. We don't help make that decision, but we do vet it for EB5 purposes. So a little bit about us, like I said, managing partner of my law degree and my MBA. I've been EB5 immigration specialist for a little over 10 years. I've been voted as one of the top 25 EB5 attorneys in the country, both several years ago, also 2023, and this current 2024 going into 2025. I have 19 years of immigration real estate experience and started the firm about right at around 19 years ago. So this is the items that we're going to be talking about today. Just keep in mind, if you have questions, I think Srini, this team is going to have a ability to put the questions in chat. And at the end of this phone call or end of this meeting, I will answer any questions that we possibly can in the time allotted. And if there isn't enough time in the call today, please feel free to email me and we'll be able to answer the questions that you have. We're going to be going over the investment amounts, program set-asides, processing times, source of funds, which is really the most important part of EB5, job creation requirements, concurrent filing, and then the retrogression, new administration that we're getting a lot of questions on, which is what a lot of this conference was focused on for this Wednesday through Friday of this week. So as you guys know, most people know the investment amounts are $800,000 in a rural high employment or infrastructure project, and it's $1,050,000 in all other areas. The project location is going to determine the amount. For our purposes today, that amount's already been determined, it's already set, and will not change for this project because it's in a high employment area. And that's $800,000, which is always an advantage. You're investing less, and then we'll talk about why that matters in the location here momentarily. So what the program set aside in 2022, March of 2022, there was the RIA Act, which created 3 priority areas for EB5. The rural areas, high unemployment areas, and infrastructure projects. And the reason they created that was immigration, USCIS, our government essentially created that so that we could have more investment in these areas and not investment in areas like, for example, Highland Park. And so that has really done a good job in making sure that EB5 projects are occurring in the proper areas. This Real One project is an approved project by EB5, so it is in a high unemployment area. The project's already been submitted to USCIS and it's already been approved by USCIS. So if you go through the entire process of what you're looking for in a project from an EB5 perspective, Real One in this project, and Srini and his team are already there in the high employment area. The benefits of this is faster processing times, lower investment, which I talked about earlier, $800,000, and concurrent filing for everybody that's in a legal status in the United States. We're going to talk about all of these here momentarily because this is truly why EB5 has become extremely popular right now, is because of these 3 items. So processing times, let's talk about that. In pre-RIA, which means pre-2022, the processing times are 4 to 5, maybe even 6 years. We've had cases that are actually still processing from back in 2019 because they were called legacy files and they were in processing times before they reenacted EB5 in 2022. The current processing times for set-asides, which I talked about earlier, which is high unemployment, rural, and infrastructure, is anywhere from 6 to 24 months. Right now, we're seeing projects get applications get approved in that time period, typically an average of 12 to 18 months, but it's not guaranteed to stay that fast. Because of retrogression, because of the number of applications, you never know how fast it's going to be. But today, sitting here today, is kind of what we call the golden time of EB5 because it's never been this fast before. What does that allow you to do? It allows you quicker access to EAD and travel documents with concurrent filing. And we're going to go over concurrent filing in a minute, how that works and how the process works. So this is really the most important part of EB5, the source of funds. We spend, if you're a new client with us, 95% of your time with us is going to be spent on this slide. And what that means is that immigration wants to make sure that we have 100% legal source of funds. Now, how far back they go, how much documentation we need, is all based on the client. Well, we tell every client, if you'll look here, this is essentially a forensic accounting, and the mindset has to be source of funds, has to be traced from when the money was printed all the way until it gets to Real One. Now, there may be, every investor is going to be different. All investments must be 100% at risk. That is the baseline requirement in EB5. So the documents that you sign in any EB5 deal, whether it be with Real One or anybody else, is going to require that your investment is 100% at risk. So if I invested money tomorrow in Real One, and for some reason, the world economy went down, I may lose my investment just like anybody else. EB5 is an investment with an EB5 layer. It's not investment and give you special treatment because of EB5. So your money has to be 100% at risk. If it is not, your application will get denied no matter what deal you're on. Now, when you're looking at deals, you're going to vet them for history and project and progress and those types of things, which Srini will talk about Real One. But in general, that's number one rule. All funds must be traced to their origin. Common sources are income, savings, asset sale proceeds, inheritance, loans, gifts, RSUs, which we're seeing a lot of RSUs, 401k loans or 401k cash out, possibly IRA, but it has to be self-directed IRA. Those are your common ways to get funds. Now you can get personal loans. We recommend that if you're going to get a gift, it be from a very close family member. And if you're going to get a loan, we're going to be sourcing where that loan money came from wherever your lender is, if it's personal. If it's a Bank of America or a Chase or institutional, we can't source those funds. But if your friend or your family member is loaning you $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, we will be sourcing those funds. We have to treat them like the investor. It has to be a goodwill loan, and it also has to have proper market terms, so you're actually paying the loan off and not just saying you're getting a loan for EB5 purposes. Tax returns are not enough. We're going to be asking for 5 years worth minimum, but when we're talking about funds, it could go 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. It could go back to bank statements, sale documents if you're selling a home, loan agreements if you're getting home equity loans or getting a loan. All of those, etc., will be needed. Once again, case by case basis. We've had a client recently that won the lottery, so their funds were really easy to trace. We've had clients that are getting 8 different gifts from India. Theirs are a lot more difficult. So every investor is going to be very different. Partial investment is allowed. We do allow partial investment in our legal work. It is up to the developer, and Srini can talk about partial investments. The only rules that we set around that is that we expect, if you're going to do, for example, $400,000 when we file, the other $400,000 will be done within 6 months. We have to source all the funds whenever we actually file the application. So if you have $400,000 that you're going to invest on day one, and before we file, and you say my other $400,000 is going to come from a home equity loan, it has to come from a home equity loan. We cannot change that source then to a gift, or we can't change its source to an RSU or a bonus that you got. So we're really sourcing all the funds from day one. We're just allowing you more time to invest, because sometimes people need more time to get the money. Sometimes with the home equity loan. In today's case, it may be because we want to hurry up and file to get into concurrent filing. So there's several reasons why we can do partial investment versus a full investment. It will not affect the timeline. It will not affect your approval. Is there a chance for RFE? There could be, but the more detailed we are when we file, the better off we are. So like I said, the mindset has to be from when the money was printed all the way until I got to your bank account to the developer. We're extremely strict on source of funds. And the reason we're very strict on source of funds is because my job is to get you a green card. So when you have a consultation with us, we're going to be talking to you about source of funds, where the money's coming from. We may have several emails. We may have several phone calls before you ever hire us. That's okay. We want to make sure that you qualify. We want to make sure that we're confident that you're going to get a green card, because at the end, my goal is to make sure you get a green card. Srini and his team want to make sure that you get a green card. The investment is the secondary piece of this. The green card is the main reason we're sitting here today. So the job creation requirements: each investment must create at least 10 full-time jobs for U.S. citizens and green card holders. There's a 2-year minimum time frame for your investment. Direct job creation for direct investments, that doesn't apply in this case. It's indirect job or reduced jobs for regional center investments. So essentially, and I think Srini will talk about how many jobs his project is creating versus how many investors they're taking, but I believe they have almost 150 to 200 person job cushion that's already been approved versus how many investors they're taking. And so they're doing indirect jobs. It was an economic formula that the economists put together based on what immigration requires. Srini already submitted that to immigration, and immigration has already approved his job creation numbers. So as an investor in this project, as long as Srini finishes his project, you do not have to worry about the job creation. So that's the advantage of investing in a regional center project. The file form I-829 is to remove 90 days before the green card expires. So essentially, a quick timeline on how EB5 works. You file, let's say 12 to 18 months. I think we actually have that here. Just thanks. Here's how let me tell you how this works. So concurrent filing, huge advantage for U.S. investors. If you're in the U.S., you essentially, when we file your application, sitting here today, because India is current, I get to file your EB5 application, which is your 526E application, your EAD, your work authorization, and your travel document, and your adjustment of status application all at the same time. Within 4 to 6 months, you'll get your work authorization, and shortly thereafter, you'll get your travel document. When we file, you cannot leave the U.S. You have to stay in the U.S., otherwise they'll cancel your EAD. Your travel document will have to reapply. So once you get the work authorization and travel document, which is for, let's say it's 6 months from when we file, you can have the authority to work wherever you want. You can stay on your H-1B status, or you can move over to EAD if you're on H-1 or another status. You're not forced to go to EAD, but you have the option. The other huge advantage is let's say you have an 18, 19, 20-year-old child, their age is frozen forever. No matter if there's retrogression or not, age is frozen. And that's a huge advantage. So whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years through retrogression, your children will get a green card with you. It's quicker processing right now. Let me walk you through a timeline. It takes, let's say it takes 6 months to get your EAD. It'll take 12 to 18 months to get your EB5 approved, get your conditional green card. Once you get your conditional green card, then we have 21 months until we file for permanent green card. At the permanent green card stage, they're going to ask a couple of things, which is the 829 application. They're going to make sure you didn't violate any immigration or legal rules in the U.S., paid your taxes. And then they're going to ask for reporting from Srini in the regional center on his project, completion of project, or progress of completion to make sure the jobs are being created. As long as everything is there, there's no reason why you would not get a permanent green card. And remember, it's 21 months after you get your conditional green card. Conditional green card could take 12 to 18 months. 21 months after you get that, we will apply for your permanent green card. But work authorization and travel document comes much earlier because of concurrent filing, which is our advantage. So this is what I wanted to spend a little bit of time on that we haven't spent much time on before, is a possible retrogression and the new administration being over, I guess, in about a week. USCIS announced in its latest visa bulletin an increase in applications and the possibility of having final action dates. What does that mean for you, the investor? I want to separate this up into two things. The Trump administration versus what retrogression means. There is an idea there's going to be possible retrogression. The February bulletin is going to come out actually this week, and we're going to know if February stays current or not. We will know by the end of this week whether or not we still have more time in February to file application concurrently. Anticipation is retrogression will not happen until the summer, if at all. Jacqueline and I were at this conference, and we talked to every large practitioner in EB5. If you look up EB5 and look up EB5 attorneys, people like David Herson and attorneys that are very well known in the EB5 industry, we all talked about it, and we were all on panels together. The anticipation is that it won't occur until the summer, even if it does occur. And remember, the dates also then, the visa is reset in October. So the reality is that retrogression may occur. We just don't know. We're going to continue to monitor it. Anybody that says that it's 100% going to occur, whether WhatsApp chat or Google board or AI or whatever you want to look at, nobody really knows. The only people that know is immigration, and honestly, immigration doesn't know today because they do not submit the numbers and categories, whether it be rural, whether it be high unemployment, whether it be they do not give those numbers out publicly. Because they don't give those numbers out publicly, there's no way for us to know. But what does that mean for you, the investor? Right now is the time to be diligent and file soon to take advantage of concurrent filing. We can't guarantee past, the end of this month until the end of this week that we're going to be able to do concurrent filing. So if you are looking for a particular reason to get concurrent filing in, now's the time to take advantage. We have a good feeling that through February, it's still going to be good and maybe even further. But if you're an EB5 investor and you've been waiting to file, but you're ready to file, right now is the time to make sure you do your research with your project, talk to Srini's team about their project, ways to take advantage of it, and then make sure you hire your EB5 attorney or have an idea of who you're going to hire relatively quickly, because now is the time to take advantage of it. You do not want to wait until 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks from now when we don't know if it's going to be current. However, even if there is retrogression, that doesn't mean you cannot file. That just means we can't do concurrent filing. And when the dates become current again, which could be in the summer, it could be in October when the visas reset, we then file your concurrent filing. So there's still the opportunity, but right now is the prime time to take advantage of EB5. The other question that was huge at the conference is, what does the Trump administration mean to EB5? And we've had a lot of clients recently say they want to file before January 20th. January 20th is an irrelevant date to file before EB5. There is absolutely no correlation between the inauguration of Trump and anything that's going to happen to EB5. The common consensus about the EB5 attorneys is we actually think the EB5 process is going to prosper under the Trump administration. Not that we're taking political sides of this, but he's an attorney, he's a politician, businessman that his own family has taken advantage of EB5. They're worried about the economy. The real estate world needs more development, and there's been a lot of talk of getting a lot of people more green cards faster, and so we don't feel like the administration is going to have an adverse effect to EB5. In the short term, we don't think anything is going to happen. Remember that this program is good until 2027. In 2022, both Republicans and Democrats voted to have this current program, so it's bipartisan. We just don't have any indication from anybody in the Trump administration or in any future 6, 8, 10 months, any changes are going to happen to EB5 that would be negative. If anything, we think they would be positive. So the investment amounts are going to stay the same. You have the opportunity today to invest. So right now is really a great time to do EB5. Let me tell you about our process. If you are interested in talking to me about EB5, what we typically do is we have a pre-qualification questionnaire, and we have a source of funds spreadsheet that we will send you. We typically like for you to fill that out. It's a free consultation. You call, you get me on the call. I'll be on the call. Jack will go over your particular case with all of your information. We spend about half the call going all over your general and EB5 questions, and then we spend the other half of the call going over your source of funds. And it may take multiple emails, multiple calls to us to get there. That's what we have to do. After that point, and you're comfortable moving forward, is whenever you would engage us, and it's taking on average 45 to 60 days. We're wanting to shorten that depending on the investor, because some investors we can get done in 2 weeks, some investors take 6 months. With all the pressure with timing right now, it really just depends on how organized you are with your source of funds, and if you have $800,000 available, or have half of it available and the other half shortly available, we can always get the documents prepared. So I will be answering questions at the end of the call today. I will put all of this information also in the chat so you have it. But if you need to get a hold of me, here's my email address and phone number. Our website, if you go to it, has a lot of articles, a lot of videos we put out there about the EB5 process, retrogression, concurrent filing, any questions that you may have. Our website has a ton of information. So please feel free to reach out. I'll be on the call until the end, and we'll be answering calls at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh, for giving detailed insight on EB5. Now let me start my project-specific presentation. Yeah, before we get into the project, I would request everyone to post your questions and also register the forms so that my team will send this webinar video or any documents you need, and we also will be in touch with you to set up appointment with me. Yeah, while the webinar is going on, please fill the form. Thank you. You should have seen the form link in the chat window. Thank you. Right. So about Rail One Invest. Rail One Invest. Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
One of the investors is asking for your background.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, Rail One Invest is an online investment platform where you can manage all of your investments, and right, you can track the performance, know the status, end to end, everything. Right. That's about Rail One Invest. Currently, we are doing 6 to 7 projects simultaneously, right? Next, about myself. Yeah, I'm the founder and CEO of Real One Invest. I'm also president and co-founder for RPM Icon. RPM Icon is a property management franchise that's present nationwide. I'm also co-founder of Suniksha Technologies, an IT company. I'm the real estate investor for past 9 years in DFW area. Currently, we have the five is a little bit old number. We have about eight active real estate projects. We have a portfolio of $150 million plus today. This is a little bit old deck. The numbers needs to be updated. Yeah, we have successfully exited multiple projects. As many of you, I also come with an IT background. I also worked in a IT uh, area until 2022. As most of you know, in COVID time, dates have moved. In 20 onwards, I started like doing more in real estate. When I know I'm going to get my green card, then I invested, and you see all this success. All these things I was able to do it in mainly in the last 3 to 4 years because of that green card. So I hope everybody realizes what is the importance of green card, right? I myself is an example here. I myself got green card only in 2022 June, June or July. I don't remember exactly, but in 2022. But I know I'll be getting green card in 2020 when the dates have moved, right? So immediately we started jumping into the real estate and IT world, and I left my job, and I'm fully focused on developing about $150 million plus projects. All right. So now coming to the specifics about this project. This project is located in Frisco, left side of the Lexington community. Lexington, the community name called, one side is Lexington Country, other side called as Lexington Park. This is a very prime location, very affluent area, highly sorted area. In this location, we are getting a lot of Indian restaurants, groceries, jewelry shops, you name it, right? Ladies Emporium, beauty parlor, you name anything, we're getting there, right? We are using a highly experienced development team. We are using KRI LLC as my GC, general contractor or development partner for this project. And this is as I said, this is a highly growth potential area. This is like, even if recession comes in next year, this is the area that will hold on, right? You can Google about Frisco and Frisco demographics, Frisco population, highly Indian populated area, right? Currently, this project already in flight. The project got all the required approvals. 25% of the buildings we already delivered and handed over to the people. You can see I'm going to present the video. And the remaining 75%, the work started. 20% of the work is done. We're expecting to complete the project in next 1.5 to 2 years. Right. The overall project cost is about 43 million, and we have equity about 18 millions, and we took a 5 million loan. The loan will be cleared in next 10 to 15 days, and we have the plan to raise about 20 million. We're on target to raise this funds with the current trend. I will give a little bit more about the EB5 numbers in my upcoming slides, right? As I said, if anybody wants to meet, you can have a meetings with us, right? This project is fully approved, I-956 approved by USCIS within 6 months after we file the application, right? So this is the layout of the project. Wherever you see the building numbers, those are my buildings. That's called the in between. It's not part of this project. Wherever you see the building names, right? Like A1, A2, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, all of this. This is the building layout. The entire site is 20 acres. Out of 20 acres, 13 acres belongs to me, and this 13 acres comes into the EB5 project. So these four buildings that what you see in this picture, A1, A2, A1B, A1A, these four 100% complete, and which we are going to see in the video, right? And A1B, A1A I handed over also. A1, A2 I'll be handing over it next week. And currently work is happening for all C and D buildings. D1, all entire this project is 100% sold out, and we have a huge list of waiting queue. There are some people like in the past asked question, what if someone drops, right? Even if one drop, I have 30 to 40 people in the queue to buy these buildings, right? This is 100% sold. The D1 is Chaurasta, D2 is Malgudi Garden. Sorry, C2 is Malgudi Garden. D2 we are getting a big, there is a proposal to get a big Indian retail chain. We'll be announcing that a little bit later, as we know. C1 is all retail. We're getting a lot of IT companies in the C5 and D4 buildings. In the mid, I sold to investors. What would be coming, we will know it in the upcoming days, right? But definitely, we are getting a lot of Indian restaurants, groceries, jewelry stores, beauty parlors, dance schools, best brains, come on, these kind of educational things, etc. Right? We can talk more when I can, you can set up an appointment with me. We can go over the site. Even people who are in Dallas or outside, I'm sure in this webinar, there are many people who are not part of Texas. Feel free to have a trip to Dallas, right? We can go over, see the project, feel comfortable, and then make the decision quickly, right? So actually, yeah, as I said, this slide's a little bit over. Yeah, these are buildings that A buildings, right? So we'll quickly go over the video. Right. Probably you might have seen the left side, the open land, the work going on. That's where the future buildings are going to come, right? So these are the timelines. The project started construction in 2023, and we're expecting to come. Right now, we are in the phase one is complete on December 30th as planned. What you see here. Phase two and three, construction started on August 23rd, 2024, and we are expecting the shell construction by December 2025, and expecting to complete the sale and the interior. We're planning to do, since we're getting a lot of EB5 interest, some of the interior constructions for one or two buildings, and complete everything by December 2026. This is the proposed timeline, right? So coming to the job creation, right? This project total budget, as I mentioned, it is 44 millions, and it's creating around 430 jobs. But we have decided to do 70% less than what we are really creating. We decided to go only with 25 applications, which needs only 250 jobs, right? So this project, we are taking only 25 applications. And you can see the equity, the developer equity is 18 million. We have 5 million as a loan, and EB5 20 million if we fill all 25. So this 5 million loan, we already saw, as you saw the video, I handed over 2 buildings, and the remaining 2 buildings are closing in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So this debt 5 million will be completely paid off in another 2 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks, worst case, for any weather conditions, any other minor delay. But the work-wise, it is done. It is a matter of closing and paying the loan. And the EB5 funds will be used to complete the remaining portion of the construction work, right? See, why we have used loan is upfront, until we get 956F approval, we didn't get any EB5 investor. So we have used the loan and we sold and clearing it out. Now, since we got all the 956F approval, we got tremendous response. We already filed 6 applications. We are on track to file many more. This month itself, we are expecting to file another 7 to 8 applications, and in February, we are expecting to file another 7. We're kind of verbal confirmation about 20 applications. We have only 4 or 5 pending. Uh, Hopefully, with this webinar, we will be closing those remaining 4 or 5, right? All these 20, 25 slots are getting filled in the last 3 months, right? So the first application we filed about 3 months back. Those guys already got the fingerprints appointment. We're expecting the EAD sometime this month, right? So that's about the progress of the project, progress of the EB5 filing. We have only 4 to 5 slots left. So anyone who wants to take this, I would encourage to start the process with attorney on priority. Get ready with your friends, right? You can decide the project at any time, right? As long as you are ready with your funds and your process with your documentation, you can decide project in 3-4 weeks also, but we can do it as long as you are ready from your end with the process, right? So high level process. So first step is you make an appointment and you make your decision. Then we will do the eligibility assessment and we'll file the I-529, we'll verify, and then you make the funds transfer, and then you get a conditional green card. Then the project completes, we'll file the documents to remove the condition, then you get the permanent green card. This is the whole process. The whole process may take anywhere 4 to 5 years, but conditional green card with the current timelines, as the dates are current, we are since the project is already approved, there is nothing pending from the project side. It is fully approved. The economic model is approved. It's creating the projects. So we are expecting conditional green card anywhere from 6 months to 24 months, right? If you can get your funds sorted out 800K in one shot, things can happen really fast, right? We do have partial payment option. You can pay 400K upfront and we start all the process, and you can pay the remaining 400 within 6 months of filing. We do have partial payment option, but we would always recommend going for full payment in one shot so that you don't need to worry about the funds related. We also encourage have least number of source of funds, right? Instead of having juggling these 800 funds from 10 different ways, if you can keep it to 1 or 2 or 3 maximum, that will make your application processing easy, faster, and less RFE chance for you, right? From project side, since it is already approved, there won't be any questions. As long as your funds are 100% clean, right, you will get your green card really fast. Right. So in the first, I will go through some of the highly frequently asked questions. Then we will go through the questions asked by the attendees. So can my investment made through a loan? Yes, absolutely. You can take entire 800K also as a loan, right? You can take home equity loan, personal loan, credit card loan. You can borrow from your friends. You can take as a gift from family members. You have so many ways that you can make your funds, right? Reach out to us. We can help you a little bit more on if you have any more questions, if you need any contacts, we'll give home equity loan, personal loan, all those things. We can advise you one-on-one. Next question. Is it necessary to invest the entire amount at once? No. We have a partial payment option. We are giving 400K as a first payment, and the remaining 400K you can pay within 6 months. Next question. What is return on investment I can expect? So we are giving 4% return paid first payment in 1.5 year, and after that paid annually. And at the end of 2.5 years, we'll be giving completely 100% refund. Most of the see in the country, you'll see many EB5 projects, but typically most of them give 1 to 2% return and try to keep for 5 years. But in this project, I'm giving 4% return and interest paid annually. And I'm returning the document says 3 years, but my goal is to return the funds in 2.5 years, which is highly phenomenal. Right. Next question. If my application is denied, will my investment be refunded? For any reason, whether it is your issue or before we file any application, we'll do thorough due diligence. We will take, if my attorney completely approve your financials, then only we'll be taking. Once we approve, once my attorneys approve, once we take your application for any reason, if your application gets denied, we will try to refund your money within 3 to 4 months. Whatever reason it is, right? Whether it is reason because of your issue or my issue or any reasons, no questions asked, within 3 to 4 months. Are there any additional fees beyond the standard investment amount? As per our document, we have an administration fee of 44K, but so far we have waived for all of them. Anyone who was making decision before February of this year, if your application is filed before February 2025, we'll be waiving all entire admin fee. This is $0. We'll be signing a waiver regarding this. All right. All right. Right. We'll go over reminder, guys. Everyone, please fill your application form so that we can reach out to you and we can talk more about the project. Right? You can meet me one-on-one. I will walk you through the project. I'm the owner. Another big advantage here is I'm the promoter, owner of this project. You can interact with me directly. Come and meet me. I will walk you through the project. We will explain who is coming, what, and we also have various other options if you want to continue as a investor and things like that. Right? That's why we highly encourage you to register your form so that we can reach out for appointment. Right? My team will reach out to you for the appointment. Okay. All right. Let's go one by one. The questions. Let's go. Right. So does Frisco fall under unemployment area asking for investment? Yes. This project comes under high unemployment zone, being in the highly developed area. Somehow this is a 3,000-acre Brickman ranch. As per USCIS, this came under high unemployment area. Since our project is already approved, even as of now, this is still there. Even if something change in the future, it doesn't affect us. This project is already approved. All right. Rakesh, I hope you are there.
I'm here. Yeah, so if 526 is approved, can we assume the funds are validated? Yes. Once the 526E is approved, the funds are validated because that's what they're looking at during the when we file the 526 application. So once that is approved, we've never had any questions on the file about funds. However, please remember that if you do have a loan, if you do have anything like that in the future during the 829 phase, immigration does have the right to ask you, show us proof that you've paid the loans back and you've been making payments. So that could happen, but the filing itself is approved.
I think the next question is for me. Do we have project completion guarantee like some of the RCS projects and funds repayment guarantee? See, as I always said, as in the beginning, as Rakesh mentioned, right? If your funds are not at risk, you won't be getting green card. But having said that, for my project, this project is all 25% already completed. This project is already sold. We got 10% advance from all the buyers, right? And the project is completely approved, right? You have a guarantee that this project will complete. You can come and see it. You will see the progress. That gives you the guarantee. All right. Next question. Does EB5 investment backed by land, by assets, etc.? Yes. The land is completely debt-free. Our equity is about 40%, and even we'll be paying off the loan in another 1-2 weeks. EB5 is the only lien that we have on this project. Right. Next question. After seeing the project duck, how do you confirm 2 years of sustainment project since all phases are ending in 2 years? In case of 5 years sustainment period is confirmed with a lawsuit, where do you reinvest to satisfy 5 years sustainment? See, I will answer partially, and the 5 year sustainment period answer I would ask Rakesh to help me at the end.
Yeah, I can help.
So the project will complete for 2 years. We'll be doing some portion of interior work. The minimum requirement is only for 2 years. That's why our project will complete at any cost in 2 years or max 2.5 years, right? The current requirement is only for 2 years, and we're creating, as long as we are creating the jobs, spending the money, we're good, right? And I will be able to do it. If any change in the rule, that will impact only for future projects, but not for the already approved project. That's what I know it, but I would ask Rakesh to pitch in a little bit more info on it.
So yeah, I mean, the money's only got to be invested for 2 years. There's no, even if the money gets used in 1 year, for example, let's say Srini finished the project in 1 year, he just has to maintain that project, the money invested for 2 years. So he just can't return the money before the 2 year period. As far as the 5 year sustainment period in this lawsuit, we've been to a lot of the conferences. We just came back from a conference. We don't anticipate this lawsuit's ever going to happen, nor get sustained, or we don't see any movement in this lawsuit. We know IUSA filed it. We know that it's sitting out there. We also know that there's a very, 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 very small chance it's going to get adjudicated to give it a 5 year sustainment period. However, nobody really knows, so nobody can predict that, but 2 years is what investors have to worry about currently.
I think next
number 6, yeah, I can take number 6. So project in a rural area, no, it's in a high employment area. Heard there's a big backlog expectation for urban projects. Once again, that's what I talked about earlier. There's a possibility of retrogression. We don't know the numbers. There could be a possibility of retrogression in both rural and high unemployment areas. Immigration just doesn't release those numbers. That's the problem. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. There's nobody knows when we say backlog, we retrogression doesn't mean you can't file. We do not know when this is going to happen. We do know that there's been a lot of demand in rural projects as well, and a lot of investors from China, for example, have only been doing rural projects. So I don't think that there's one compared to the other has more of a backlog than the other. We don't know. Is everything related to? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So my project is not urban. This is urban IT. That's why this also comes under specialty, not just regular urban. Yeah, next question. Yes, is everything related to returns refund of the money? We have completely documented, and we'll be able to share those documents once you have a one-on-one appointment with us. Yes.
And just to keep on number 7, Srini, remember everybody, this is an investment. You're going to be signing offering documents like you would with it. If there was no EB5 involved, it's the same type of offering document. So you would need to review those documents. We go through those documents with you so you understand them, but it is governed by the SEC. So this isn't just USCIS. This is governed by Securities and Exchange Commission as well.
Yeah. So the next question is, why are we raising money through EB5 for this project? See, instead of going for a bank loan, we have decided to go with an EB5 option. We want to help our friends, fellow Indians to get their green card. That's the whole theme of this. Okay. And get a little bit less costlier funds. Okay. Next question, within how much time money will be refunded? When are returns paid? I think I already answered this question. Yeah, we'll be refunding the money. Documents mentioned for 3 years. I'll make every effort to return in 2.5 years. Next question, what is the rule for the funds after 5 to 6 of approval? like keeping funds for
This one, yeah.
this, Rakesh. Yes.
Yeah, so what is the rule for funds after I-526 approval, like keeping the funds for 24 months before 829 filing? The rule isn't about, it has nothing to do with the 526 approval. The rule is about the 2-year investment period. So just keep in mind that we're not, if EB5 gets approved in 30 days, still a 2-year investment period. If it gets approved in 5 years, still a 2-year investment period. So don't correlate the two. There is no rule for keeping funds 24 months before 829 filing. How do you ensure the returning funds if there are any delays from USCIS? Once again, the investment period is 2 years. The approval period and return of funds are not related. So, Srini, for example, if there's retrogression and it's going to be 4 years before you get 526 approved or EB5 gets approved, Srini still has the opportunity after 2 years to refund your money as per his project. So those two are not going to be correlated. One is not going to control the other.
Yep. Next question, I can take it. Any other liability other than investment amount like debt or title issues? Yeah, we don't have. See, currently I have a loan about 4 to 5 millions. I'm clearing it in 2 weeks, and I don't have any other debt other than the EB5. Next question, I've already engaged an attorney who is compiling SOF documents. Do I need to use Mr. Patel and team, or can I go ahead with my current attorney? See, Rakesh and myself are trying to bring knowledge in Indian community, knowing about EB5 and process. Rakesh is always our well-wisher, and he's helping us to spread the word, to give education to the investors. Yeah, you are absolutely free to use your own attorney, but from our side, we are recommending.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, yeah, if you've already gone down the source where you've already hired an attorney, a source of funds, continue to use that attorney. Just make sure that you guys are doing the proper evaluation whenever you're looking at your source of funds, and that the attorney's experienced in EB5. You don't want to use an attorney that they've only done 1, 2, 3 EB5 applications. That's probably not a good idea. But if you've got an experienced attorney, we won't encourage you to use us. We're here to help you.
Yep. So next question, do we have any past testimonials or candidates with whom we can talk? Absolutely. Once you meet me, once we feel comfortable, we can connect you guys with 1 or 2 already filed candidates so that you can get some idea. But we have multiple people. We'll connect based on your situation, who is similar to you. Suppose you need funds from India, right? We'll try to connect with the person who has done that, bringing funds from India.
We have testimonials as well from past investors. You can go to our website. There's plenty on there. We typically don't give out names of investors only because of attorney-client privilege, but we do have testimonials.
Yeah, we can do that. Next question, as mentioned during the presentation, is the ROI 4% on the total investment of 800K, which would be around $32,000. Yes, every year you make $32,000. It's not total 32,000. Each year you make 32,000. Suppose if it is after 2.5 years, you are making total 64 plus 16, right? 80,000, right? Total, you will make $80,000, and even this payment will be made intermediate. You won't be waiting for the interest payment until end of the project. You will keep getting the payments in between. Do they become limited liability investors in the project? Rakesh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's just your structure. I think you have everybody as LPs in the NCE, correct? So they're limited partners. Is that, I think that's the lending entity. So it's just your structure. So when you talk to Srini and look at the structure, I think that's what they're asking.
Okay. Yeah, our structure is LLC structure. We have a NCE and JCE. Yeah, whoever asked this question, we can talk.
Yeah.
What do you mean exactly? Yeah. Were your previous projects also EB5 investments? No. This is my first EB5 project. Right. Yeah, and I think most of the folks ask, I think I skipped that part. This project come under Regional Center EB5 AN. EB5AN is one of the highly reputed, successful regional center and very expensive too, right? Even though considering all of that, we always takes our investors on priority rather than cost and other things. So we hired EB5AN as our regional center. Like some of the folks have asked me why your project is not there in the EB5AN website. This is one of the common questions that few people ask me. See, I've hired the regional center. This project is not directly managed by EB5AN. Project is managed by me, but the regional center is EB5AN. They keep their own projects in their website, but not the rented projects.
And then just to give you an idea, I was with EB5AM for the last 3 days, all their owners, everybody, I know them very well respected regional center. And have been working with them long before I knew Srini, so I've known EB5AM for a long time.
Yep. Next question. Yeah, this is open for all nationals to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Another question.
Almost all. There's a few countries it's not, but we're not going to North Korea or certain places like that, but it's open to everybody.
Yeah. All right. There is an attorney fee that you need to pay. Our attorney's initial consultation is whoever attended this webinar, it would be completely free. You just need to fill the questionnaire. Rakesh will give his appointment. He will present, he will explain, and then he will
I'll
give you.
send you my fees. Once we get through the phone call, do the initial consultation, go through all the documents, make sure that you qualify for source of funds. We'll also send you our fees as well, so you have it in your inbox.
Yeah, you can take entire your 800K as a loan. There is nothing like fixed, but the loan should be completely on your personal guarantee.
Yeah, and you have to have the ability to pay the loan back on a normal, if I get $800,000 home equity loan, for example, I have to be able to pay that back and show that I can pay it back.
While we are waiting for more questions, right? Yeah, please fill the forms. And I think we're almost done with our questions, looks like. That's right. Yeah, please feel free to set up appointment. I would encourage my project. We have very good flow of investors. We have only few slots left. I would highly encourage first taking Rakesh appointment, then take my appointment because of the time and criticality. Project wise, you can make decision. It doesn't need to be, you need to go only with my project, but I would strongly encourage first take the attorney appointment, make your funds ready, and then take my appointment. That way you are ahead of the game because I am 100% confident my project will be closed by February with all 25 slots. I'm thinking to stop at 24, just as like not making 100%, right? So I would encourage immediately take Monday itself your appointment, Rakesh. If you can help us giving appointment quickly next week.
We're filling up with appointments. So if you want an appointment, please contact us because we're taking them all day. I think Monday, Tuesday is already full. So we'll be scheduling earliest Wednesday. So please, if you're going to have an appointment, the earlier you get to us, the better off it'll be. The approximate attorney fees, like I said, once you email me, we give that information out. We'll get all of that to anybody that contacts us.
Yeah, I would encourage first take attorney appointment, then take my appointment, right? Project wise, you have anything, as long as I would encourage all of you to use it when the dates are current, right? So that's all, guys. Thank you all for attending today's session. Please don't forget to complete the form. My team will reach out. It's in the chat box. Okay.
Thank you, Srini, for having me.
Thank you, Rakesh. Thank you so much. This is the biggest number of attendees. I think today we touched 90, at least 80.
Yes.
Right? We crossed 90. Okay, it's a very. I think this would be our last webinar for this year. Right? We're going to stop these webinars for another 5-6 months until I find a new project, another EB5 project. So thank you so much, Rakesh, for all your support. and making my EB5 journey successful. Thank you, guys. Gina.